potential strife headed our way with the UK because of Trump's silly, tough tariff talk all the time, not being very well received by the Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, in this breaking story you're going to want to see. And what we have to understand is that while the United States is a huge place, we often sometimes forget there's a whole other planet out there. That's why G7 exists, because of other countries and NATO. But when it all is said and done, setting aside military might, the other thing that really matters is that other M word, Donald, that you like so much, money. And the bottom line is, when you start hitting the farmers' pockets in this country because of the difficulty your tariffs may cause, you are going to hear about it from them, but you're already hearing the warning shots coming from the other side of the pond over there. And just to give you an example of what I mean, take a listen at these folks real quick.
When President Trump graciously hosted me for dinner at Trump Tower, I told him that we will invest more deeply than ever in this transatlantic bond with our American friends in the years to come.
What Trump wants to do on tariffs will hit us very hard indeed. We're talking about a 1% hit on GDP growth, really dismal.
Yeah, tariffs, not so great, right, Donald? And oh yeah, there's more of this.
Really important is that we then lean hard into the reconstruction of Ukraine and ensure that we lean hard into giving Ukraine the continued defense capability to defend themselves against further Russian aggressions.
Look at what Trump wants to do in terms of tariffs domestically in America. That will certainly increase inflation.
100% tariffs, and if that's not high enough, I'll make it 200%.
Add to that, when Trump talks about wanting much more of a contribution from other NATO countries, when he talks about wanting to do a deal with Russia over Ukraine, we are certainly going to have to spend more than we are on our own defense.
You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
There is no money for that in the budget at the moment. It's very, very tough news for the Labour Party when it comes to economics and their central message. They've always said, we are going to be a growth government.
And the only way to drive economic growth is to invest, invest, invest.
It's going to be much, much harder after Trump's win.
Yeah, the UK isn't just thinking about themselves and UK first. They live over there, and they're much closer to Putin than we are. And to that point, if he tries, the Prime Minister of the UK is not having it. In this breaking story, take a listen to this right now.
So I want to be clear at the outset, against the backdrop of these dangerous times, the idea that we must choose between our allies, that somehow we're with either America or Europe, is plain wrong. I reject it utterly. Attlee did not choose between allies. Churchill did not choose. The national interest demands that we work with both.
There you go, and there you have it. Folks, this is a complex world. We do not get to function as isolationists. Anyone who thinks the United States of America can function as an isolationist on a global platform, either financially or militarily, has lost their mind. We cannot. So you are going to have to face up to some truths, and what Trump will likely do is he'll either eventually capitulate and try to find a way to blame it on the Democrats, or he'll do a bunch of chaos and a bunch of BS, and just like in his first term, he'll never actually do anything global and big money oriented when it's going to get him in hot water. And while it's always a difficult conversation, and I'm all for pushing the envelope and being strong, there's a very fine and thin line in the world we live in today between being strong and being stupid. And that is what we're going to have to watch over the next 4 years with Mr. Orange Hair in the White House. So listen, stay educated, talk to your people, and most of all, stay frosty.